Welcome back to Besties and Books, where we drink wine, talk fantasy, and obsess over fantasy and romantasy books.
And sometimes we even read them eventually.
Like all the time, come on.
Just feels like a never-ending TBR. We just never get to the
That's
bottom.
what happens when you keep adding more than you read, I suppose.
I know.
If you're new here, we are two besties who deep dive into fantasy, romantasy, and all genres in between. I am Ellen, and do you want me to say the whole thing?
No.
The thing is, even if I read the script, it's like, I am Sarah. I am Sarah, and this is Ellen.
So in today's episode, we are doing something a little scary, I suppose. We're finally revealing what's actually on our TBR. So if you've watched our episodes before, we have these TBR jars which have already got all these pre-selected books in there, but we've never actually told you what's in the jar. So today we're going to reveal all.
That's right. No more hiding behind the TBR jar. We are spilling it all. The fantasy, the romantasy, and all the random genres. And to be honest, Ellen did most of the books, so it's all a surprise for me.
So it's all my fault if they're 1 to 3 stars.
True. Yeah, let's go with that. We have divided our TBRs into 2 categories. First, our fantasy and romantasy TBR, because let's be honest, that is our brand. And then the random genre TBR. Thrillers, dark romance, we have historical fiction, contemporary romance, and whatever else that has randomly been suggested to us, we have thrown it in.
And lately, I have to say, we are loving the dark romance probably the most out of all the genres.
Yeah, weird. I never would have expected.
I know. Neither. But when you think about it, like all of the fantasy and romantasies that we love all have morally grey MMCs. So maybe that's where it's,
Although don't you feel like there's still a line there that I'm not quite sure I can cross over into the really morally grey. Anyway.
Yeah, the black. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments what's on the top of your TBR right now. We're always looking for more books to add because clearly we don't have enough. And also I did just do a really big cull, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, because some of the recommendations I was getting were rubbish. So if you're loving our content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Before we dive into our huge list, let's kick off with our 4 priority reads. The books that we really are very keen to get into sooner rather than later.
It's actually ridiculous that we haven't got to these yet, and we might have to
just bump them up.
take over our TBR jars and pick a couple at least from this list. But first off the bat, we have A Kindred's Curse Saga or series by Penn Cole. So book 1 we all know is called Spark of the Everflame. I literally have a copy, you can't see it right now, sitting on my shelf behind me, and it's gathering dust because we still haven't picked it up. But basically Spark of the Everflame is book 1 and it's a 4-book romantasy series. And now that I think about it though, I don't think book 4 is out yet. I think it's expected to come out this year. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure I heard it's supposed to be this year, but at the moment 3 books are definitely out. This is a slow burn, enemies to lovers, epic fantasy that is perfect for lovers of magic, dragons. I'm so excited about this. I didn't realize it had dragons in it and banter, which we love. So it has an average of 4.2 to 4.3 on Goodreads, and it's on our TBR, I think for obvious reasons. If you are even in the romantasy world and you've read ACOTAR, you've read Fourth Wing, Serpent of the Wings of Night, any of those books, you would have heard of The Kindred's Curse Saga by Penn Cole. It is very popular. Everyone says you have to read it. I think Luther is the main MMC and everyone raves about Luther. I just hear about it all the time. It is time we get to this series. Oh, I see.
Except I think
you recommended it to me.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah, I think you put it in a chat. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll go me.
Yeah. I'll show you the cover. Hang on, give me a second.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yes. And it looks like book 1 is quite short too. It's really big writing. I'm going to try not spoil myself here.
Is this meant to be like a morally grey dark romantasy? Do you know?
I don't know if he's morally grey, but it is enemies to lovers.
Cool.
So perhaps. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway.
Next on our desperate to read list is To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. Now, this is the author of When the Moon Hatched, a book that Ellen and I read, last year when it was released? Or this year? And we both
that was last year.
Loved it. So I don't know anything about this book. I haven't read any reviews, but the write-up is about, it's a dark Rapunzel reimagining full of immersive imagery and breathtaking angst. It doesn't get the best reviews. It gets a 3.74 star on Goodreads. However, given that it's written by Sarah A. Parker, who we love, we are still very excited to read this book. And given that we've read a few books lately that have gotten well over 4 stars on Goodreads, and they've just fell very flat for us, so maybe we're just a little bit off sync with some of the Goodreads reviews. So we're super excited for it. I don't know whether you've read much about the actual book or whether you're just excited given the author.
It's just the author, and I've heard really good things from a booktuber that I follow. But again, she's also obsessed with When the Moon Hatched, so there could be a bit of bias there. But the writing is the same, so that really, poetic writing style.
Yeah.
Also descriptions that just make zero sense but sound very whimsical. So this is very similar.
Well, I think she's got, based on When the Moon Hatched, she has a real gift to make you feel very connected to the characters. Yes. And again, I think that's been lost in some of the books we've read recently. They've been fine in terms of how they're written, but I just haven't really connected with some of the main characters. And when you don't connect, you don't care much about the plot twists and the developments. It just falls flat. Yeah. So this is one author who I think has nailed that in terms of the one book I've ever read of hers. So yes, high hopes for this one.
Yes, and the last comment I'll leave this with is I have heard it's dark. So I think it's not, you don't expect to go into this like a young adult light read. It's dark, it's made for adults, and I think a more experienced reader would go into this.
Because I wouldn't say When the Moon Hatched was dark at all.
No.
Did it have any dark?
This other one's quite dark.
Vibes? I don't know if it did.
Other than the fact that she was an assassin, it was a dark world. I'd say it was a pretty dark world in When the Moon Hatched, from memory. I can't remember. Did she steal something or something happened and then they were trying to feed her to a dragon at the very beginning? Yeah, so I think it is you've got your cast, I think. Was it casting? Maybe not. But anyway, it was a dark world, and I think unless you were really wealthy or royalty, basically, it was pretty hard going. So next on our list, I am dying to get to this one as well. I would say this is number 2 in terms of what I really want to read, but it is Diebound by Sable Sorensen. Everyone is talking about it. Everyone. It's a new release. Pretty sure it was released in around May or April this year. But basically, I didn't want to read too much into it because there's certain books that I just want to go into as blind as possible to get the best experience, and this is one of them. So what I will say is, apparently it's a spicy, dark romantasy with bonding trials to dire wolves. So sort of like in Fourth Wing, how you bond to dragons, this is your bonding to dire wolves, and that's really all that I know about it. It has 4.38 on Goodreads, which is a great rating. And I'm just really intrigued as to why everyone is talking about it and just binging through it.
How many books are planned? Do you know?
Oh, good question. I don't know. I'll do a quick Google. It'll be a trilogy. Oh, yeah. So Diebound will be a trilogy, and the series is called The Wolves of Ruin.
Cool. I mean, if it's giving off Fourth Wing vibes, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. So I've heard it's nothing like Fourth Wing, so don't compare it to Fourth Wing, but it's got that bonding and it's just as bingeable, apparently.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's very new. Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Cool. All right, next.
4th on our list is Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. Now, he is one of my all-time favourite authors, and anything he writes is amazing. So this particular series is a science fiction series about a teenage girl living with the remnants of the human race trapped on a planet that's constantly attacked by mysterious alien star fighters. So it's a little bit of a different vibe to a lot of the Romantasy books we've been reading. There's no fantasy, there's no fae or angels or direwolves in this. It's sort of mainly centered around the human race. It's got, I would say, more sort of Star Trek vibes, I guess. 4.47 on Goodreads. So
Huge.
yeah. Like anything he writes is amazing. So the first book in this series I have actually read. I read it when it was first released, which I'm going to say would have been at least 8 years ago. I don't actually know.
Okay.
But when I read it, it had just been released, book 1. There's now 4 books in the series, and I never continued with the series. Not because I didn't enjoy it, but just I moved on to other books because there was no other book had been released. But I remember,
and he takes big breaks in between, right?
He often,
Each book.
I mean,
he doesn't.
Yeah, I think with The Way of Kings, another one of his series, I have a feeling there was about, I'm going to say like at least 5 to 8 years between the 2 books.
Yeah,
like it was something.
It was a long
something
time.
insane, and maybe that's because I don't know whether he spends that long on one book or it's because he's writing multiple series. But I'm excited to re-enter into this series and actually read the whole thing from book 1 to 4. Because book 1 I remember being good. It's a bit more probably young adult focused than say Way of Kings. The books aren't as long. The world building isn't as epic and intense, but I have never read a bad thing from this guy. So book 1 was good as I remember it, and I'm sure the series will be.
And like I can't say I'm a Brandon Sanderson, what would you call it, connoisseur. I haven't read much of his works. I have read the first 3 books in the Way of Kings series. So I really want to get to book 4 because I know that Sarah too is up to book 5, and it would be cool to read that simultaneously. I love Brandon Sanderson, but my only issue is maybe it's just a Way of Kings thing, but the books are so long and I need to really be in the mood for it to get to it. So I just haven't got around to book 4 yet. But I also really want to get into Mistborn, which I know
Mistborn is much shorter. I'm sure.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up later.
Yeah, I'd be keen to Christmas read or maternity leave read.
Yeah, me. I say you have lots of time. You may not have any time.
Anyway, time for our shame pile, I think.
Oh, yeah. All right. So now that we have covered off on our 4 priority reads, we have so many other books on our fantasy and romantasy TBR jars. It's just getting out of control. We're actually not going to go through every single book tonight because we would be here for 6 hours. So we have picked a mix of sort of the second tier of books that we're very excited to read and some hidden gems that we have zero expectations about.
Yeah. So first on that list, again, if you're in the fantasy or romantasy world, you would have heard of this duology, but it's 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, I think is how it's pronounced. So this one follows Kaz and 6 dangerous outcasts who are set to complete an impossible heist. So whenever I hear someone talking about the series, it's always that it's around a heist, which I found super interesting because I've never read anything like that before. And that's if they don't kill each other first. So this is a young adult fantasy and it has, I think, a romantic subplot. It gets 4.46 stars on Goodreads. That's very good. Which is really good, yes. But I'm also aware that it is young adult and I've had a lot of misses with the young adult lately. So I hope this one doesn't miss the mark.
Otherwise it gets a rating of 2.
Yes, exactly. All
right, next up, the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. There are 3 books in this series: Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. There's also a prequel called The Mortal Instruments, which is another book in our TBR. This series follows Clary Frey. I think that's how we say.
What a tongue twister.
Yeah, is that right? Clary Frey.
Yeah.
Search for her missing mother, leading her into an alternate New York called Downworld, filled with mysterious fairies, hard-partying warlocks, not what they seem vampires, an army of werewolves, and the demons who want to destroy it all. We're just bringing everything in.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah. This does get an average of 4 to 4.3 stars on Goodreads. 4 to 4.3 stars on Goodreads. So that's not too bad. Sometimes I do worry with these books where they bring in every single fantasy element that it's just too much.
Yes.
but
yes.
we'll
And
see.
I'm also aware that this is recommended by the same one booktuber that I've had a few doozies with. So I'm going into this with an open mind.
Yeah, okay.
And I think if we don't like the Infernal Devices series, then we won't read the Mortal Instruments prequel.
I agree, yeah.
But
Totally.
we'll just see how we go.
We need to start getting ruthless and just cull the ones that we don't like, because there's just too many good books to read.
I agree. I was thinking, like, even going through this, our TBR with continuing series, let's just cull the ones we're not interested in, because we've got so many good ones on there. All right. Next up, we have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Again, if you're in the Romantasy world, you would have heard of this series. So it follows Poppy, whose life has never been her own. The life of a maiden is solitary, never to be touched, never to be looked upon, never to be spoken to, and never to experience pleasure. Waiting for the day of her ascension, she would rather be with the guards, fighting back the evil that took her family, than preparing to be found worthy by the gods. But the choice has never been hers. So in this series, apparently we've got gods and mortals, vampires, enemies to lovers, romance, and I hear a lot about the political intrigue in the series.
Okay.
It gets 4.2 on Goodreads. I have heard it's a hit and miss. Some people really love this series. And then some people
Do you know what?
like,
I was just about to say, I feel like this one's going to be a dud. Based on absolutely nothing. I don't know anything about it. I just think,
oh, that's so funny.
This is going to be one of the ones that we go, why did it get such good ratings? Like, this is a 2.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm wrong.
I mean, I feel like it could go one of two ways. It could be like really terrible, or it could be like, I don't want to compare it to this big fangirls out there, aka my sister. Sorry, Molly, close your ears. But like Handmaids, you know how they're very like, you don't talk to them, you don't touch them, whatever, until they're sort of bonded to someone or in that family. It could go along those lines, but in like a fantasy, romantasy world. So it could be interesting in that sense, but I don't know.
We'll find out.
Everyone talks about it. There's some very strong opinions on this series.
Oh, okay. So. Well, that makes for an interesting read at least.
Yeah.
All right, next up, The Green Bone Saga by Fonda Lee. So Jade is the lifeblood of the island of Kekon?
I gave you the tongue twisters today.
It's probably not how it's pronounced.
You're doing great.
It has been mined, traded, stolen, and killed for, and for centuries, honorable green bone warriors like the Call family have used it to enhance their magical abilities and defend the island from foreign invasion. Now the war is over and a new generation of Calls vies for control of Kekon's bustling capital city.
You did it.
Thank you. So in this series, we have some intergenerational blood feuds, vicious politics, magic, and kung fu, apparently. So an average of 4.3 to 4.7 on Goodreads. I wonder whether this is going to be more of a serious read, like some of the Sword of Kaigan.
It is.
You know, very like culturally inspired, sort of when they're talking about intergenerational blood feuds, the strong family connections.
Yeah, I've heard really great things. It's not a romantasy. It's more like that epic fantasy style, but you're right, it's heavily culturally inspired. I think from what I've heard, it's not an easy read, but it's also some people's all-time favourite series and favourite read. So I'd say this is probably high up there for me in terms of I'm keen to get to it. Just hopefully it has a little bit more development of the writing compared to Sword of Kaigan, like we were talking about before, because that was heavily inspired by Japanese culture. And if you read our review on that, basically very slow at the beginning, awesome 40% in the middle, and then slow again in the last 20%. So hopefully this one, if it's similar, if it's anything similar to that, the pacing is a lot better. And
what was that other one we read? Rage of Dragons.
Yes.
Maybe that one that was also quite sort of just like very dense and heavy and slow to get into. And then sort of once you got into it, it was very good. Just
had loads of potential.
A lot of work.
First 40% needed to be edited or redone. I don't know. Okay, so up next we have The Shepherd King duology by Rachel Gillig, and the first book is called One Dark Window. I have it on the shelf behind me. They're quite short books. I think book 1 is One Dark Window and book 2 is Two Twisted Crowns from memory. Everyone raves about it because it's a very, I think, short, easy read. She's just the author's just released another book called Night and the Moth, which a lot of people are giving 5 stars
Oh,
to.
right.
But back to this one. It's a dark gothic fantasy set in the misty kingdom of Blunder, where magic is both a blessing and a curse. So the story follows Elspeth Spindle, who is connected to a powerful ancient spirit called the Nightmare, and her quest to gather 12 Providence cards to cure her own town of a dangerous infection of dark magic. So the magic system in this book is based off tarot cards. So whatever tarot card apparently you hold is what magic you can wield. So apparently that magic system is interesting from that aspect. And it gets an average of 4.2 to 4.4 on Goodreads.
My 15-year-old niece was reading this when I saw her the other week.
Oh,
so
what? No way.
I was thinking it can't be too dark. Otherwise, I don't think she would.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Silver Elite by Danny Francis. This is dystopian, enemies to lovers, romantasy series. Only just released book 1 in May this year. It follows Wren Darlington, who has spent her whole life in hiding, honing her psychic abilities and aiding the rebel uprising. Psychic gifts are a death sentence. Training for Silver Block can be deadly, especially when you are harboring dangerous secrets and living in close quarters to everyone who wants you dead. This series gets an average of 4 stars on Goodreads. I'm not sure what Silver Block is. Do you know that? Do you know what that is?
No, I didn't want to read too much into it because I've got the hard copy as well on the back behind
you're
there.
so prepared.
And I just, like I said, these are all books that I got before we started the channel, I think. And I was like, thought I could
at some point
read
we'll
them at some, yeah. So it's just been sitting there for a while gathering dust. But it sounds like it's high stakes, which I'm really excited about. It's a new release. I haven't heard of Danny Francis before. And this is book 1, so I don't know how many books are planned. Next up, Sarah's going to kill me for including this.
I did see it here. Hey, I will read anything. I will read the first book of anything.
So the dark romance girlies are obsessed with this duology. Like when I say obsessed, like 5 stars, God tier sort of thing. This is probably on our like toe curling, oh my God, what are we reading side for us, because this probably takes it to the next level. In saying that, the series is called Court of Ravens, and it's a dark romantasy duology, like I said. So it's a 2-part story, and it features 2 morally grey raven shifters. So a young woman, I just can't.
I remember the cover well.
Yes. You have to, if you want to know what we're talking about, I will link it below. But we did a Judge the Book by the Cover episode, and the cover for this series is quite confronting. So we've got also shadow powers. We do love shadow powers. Although I don't know how this is going to intertwine here. And apparently it's a happily ever after, but we'll decide on that. So the world contains dark elements. You've got violence and themes of some people might find disturbing. So if you're looking at this series, check your triggers. And it says what this book doesn't contain is a hero, because villains do it better. And 2 do it better than 1. So that's why choose, which means there are 2 main love interests, and I presume she ends up with both of them.
I'm just not sure how I feel about that.
I've never read that before. Well, actually, I think there's a series coming up where it will be in there, but so far we have not read it before. And it's got an average of 4 stars on Goodreads. But I would say, unless you're a dark romance or dark romantasy fan, don't read this duology.
All right, we'll see. Well, it'll be fun when we get there. Next up, Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. Caraval meets Throne of the Fallen in this wickedly delightful and addictively delicious romantasy where a dangerous partnership is a necromancer's only chance to save her sister from a deadly contest. But their alliance puts her at risk of breaking the game's most vital rule. When Ophelia's sister disappears, there's only one way to save her. Ophelia must enter Phantasma, a deadly contest, inside a haunted mansion and claim its prize, a single wish. So this one is a dark and gothic paranormal fantasy romance. Gets an average of 4 stars on Goodreads. I wonder, is this a standalone or it's a series?
No, it's a series. This is one you recommended back early
I don't remember that either.
early days. Yeah. Yeah, so this one came from you originally. All I know is that it's Trials, and then book 2 was fairly recent. It was released this year.
Okay.
I just don't know how many books are going to be in it in total. Next up, something a little bit different. This isn't widely talked about in the romantasy world. It's more talked about in the epic fantasy or just fantasy world. So this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. So I've never read any of V.E. Schwab's work, but people that do read it rave about her. So it's set in France in 1714. So in a moment of desperation, a young woman makes a bargain to live forever, but she's cursed in the process. And this curse means she is forgotten by everyone she meets.
Oh.
So this begins her life, and a dazzling adventure will play out across centuries and continents, across history and art. She learns how far she has to go to leave her mark on the world. But everything changes when, after nearly 300 years, Addie stumbles across a young man in a bookstore, and he actually remembers her name.
Oh.
So it's a historical fantasy fiction. Yeah. And so from what I know is, like, she can talk to people, they'll remember her, they'll converse with her and whatever, but as soon as she leaves the room and is out of sight, they forget her. Like, she's just forgotten.
I think I like this. And this is a bit of a twist. It's usually the man's usually 500 years old and the 18-year-old girl.
Yes,
So
that's
the
right.
ages
That's
are
right.
swapped. Yeah, cool. All right. I look forward to reading that one. Next, we have The Folk of the Air series by Holly Black. So the first book in this series is called The Cruel Prince. This series follows the journey of mortal girl Jude Duart and fairy prince Carden Greenbrier as they navigate the world of hate, betrayal, and contempt, along with feelings for each other. It is a young adult fantasy. It's got some enemies to lovers, fae, sort of the standard fantasy elements, and gets a 4-star review on Goodreads.
A lot of people would have heard of The Cruel Prince, but this is very political focused, this series. And they say don't expect to go into this thinking it's a romantasy because the romance is a subplot. It's not the heavy focus of the book. Time to move on to the random genre TBR shame pile. So if you've watched any of our videos before, then you'll know we also have a random genre jar. And let's pick this apart and see what's in there. And I do have to say, I've been loving some of the genres in here, and like to the point where I think I'll continue with them forever. But then there's others that I would rather dig my head into the ground and disappear.
Yeah, I agree. I've been surprised by some of our random genre picks in a good way. So first up, we have in the sports romance category, which I wasn't even aware that was a category to start with.
So I basically created this genre because I really want to read this series.
This one book that we've got here.
Yeah, that's why it's a whole series. Like, it's like 8 books or something.
What?
But that's why I created this category. But like, if we don't like book 1, then we don't have to continue. I agree. Like,
and if we love it, then we will want 8 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get into the book. It is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, which I'm assuming is book 1, not the series name. He wants to save her. She wants to hide. She's damaged. He's determined. Fate brought them together, but love binds them. As Johnny and Shannon fall into a complicated friendship and grapple with their undeniable chemistry, hidden pain and complicated secrets threaten to be their undoing. But Johnny won't give up on Shannon, no matter what it might cost them both. This gets 4.5 stars on Goodreads. That's pretty impressive.
I've heard amazing things.
Their names are terrible.
And I've seen videos. Yeah.
But we'll still read it.
I've actually seen like vlogs of people reading these books and these series, and they are sobbing, like snot sobbing I can't recover from these books. Apparently
Cool.
they're really quite full on. So I'm excited to eventually get to it. All right, next up we have comedy. So I mean, arguably this is also contemporary romance, but it's Funny Story by Emily Henry. I'm really keen to try some of Emily Henry's works. I think a lot of them are hit and miss, but this one follows Daphne. So after her fiance falls for his childhood best friend, Daphne starts fresh as the children's librarian in a small town and reluctantly teams up with Miles, the messy ex of Petra's ex, for a fake friendship and maybe something more while navigating heartbreak and new beginnings. So we mentioned it, I think, on our last TBR jar pool episode, but we think this is an ex-swap situation. And it's got 4.2 stars.
Probably a bit of
Goodreads,
revenge
so
thrown in the
brings
mix.
out a few giggles.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Our next category is thriller. We actually have 5 TBRs in this category, but we're just going to touch on our top 2 choices. First up, Verity by Colleen Hoover. Struggling writer Lowen Ashley is hired to finish a best-selling series, but discovers an unfinished dark autobiography revealing shocking family secrets, forcing her to choose between protecting the grieving husband or exposing a truth that could change everything. This one gets 4.3 on Goodreads. Our second choice in the thriller category is The Silent Patient by Alex Philides. When celebrated painter Alicia Berenson shoots her husband and falls silent, criminal psychotherapist Theo Faber becomes obsessed with uncovering the truth behind her silence, only to find himself entangled in a dark, twisting mystery that changes everything. This one's slightly lower, 4.17 stars on Goodreads. Although I think this one tickles my fancy a little bit more than The Struggling Writer.
I agree.
So
yeah,
we'll see.
I agree. I think as well I was pretty selective with what we chose in thriller too, because I get scared easily.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to be like terrified walking in the hallway sort of thing. Speaking of being terrified and walking in the hallway in the dark, I'm scared. I'm actually scared. The next category is paranormal. So we have 3 choices, but this is our top choice. I think this might even fall under dark romance as well, but it's called Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue, and the cover is terrifying. Basically, ghost hunter Ray accidentally summons Leon, a deadly demon who defies his orders to kill her, binding them together as they face a rising evil, a dangerous cult, and a dark, seductive battle for Ray's soul. Got an average of 4.05 stars on Goodreads.
I'm intrigued to read this one. I don't know.
Okay.
As in, I don't know that I've ever read a paranormal novel.
No.
It's funny because in my mind, I feel like the thrillers are possibly going to be more scary than a paranormal, but that could be my naivety with the paranormal genre. Ooh, let's hope so. We'll find out. All right.
Yeah.
Science fiction. We have 2 choices, but here's our top one. Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Lone astronaut Ryland Grace awakens with no memory aboard a distant spacecraft, soon realizing he must solve a scientific mystery to save Earth until he discovers an unexpected alien ally who might help him succeed. To me, that just sounds like a...
So bizarre.
quite a bizarre plot, but also it doesn't really pique my interest, but it does get 4.5 star on Goodreads. So for that alone, I would definitely give this a go.
So everyone raves about the audiobook to the point this is so widely popular. It's been picked up as a movie.
Oh, wow.
Which is coming out this year. And it stars Ryan Gosling. So apparently this is exceptional.
Cool.
So whilst it sounds like
a
very uninteresting, not our vibe, yes, apparently it's really, really good.
Yeah, cool. Well, we should definitely try and read it before the movie comes out.
Yes. I won't be watching the movie until I've read it.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, next up we have The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. So apparently this is quite the emotional read. I think Jessa Hastings also wrote Magnolia Park.
Oh, yeah.
Don't quote me on that. So estranged from her wealthy South Carolina family, Georgia Carter returns home for her father's funeral, only to confront buried trauma, unravel family secrets, and navigate a complex relationship with her brother's AA sponsor, Sam Henny. That really doesn't give us much, but I did want to go into Yeah, I want to go into this one blind, I think, but it's got an average of, let's say, 4.4 on Goodreads, and it's also a fairly new release as well.
Yeah, cool. Next up, romance, and these are our top 2 choices. Archer's Voice, which is book 1 in Where Love Meets Destiny series by Mia Sheridan. After a wild bet and an unexpected connection with Daniel, a laid-back young carpenter, Alexi Montgomery's orderly life is upended. Torn between her wealthy family's surgical legacy and the simple joy she finds in Daniel's small town, Alexi must decide if love is worth risking her career and family expectations. 4.18 stars on Goodreads for book 1. Do you know anyone that's read that?
It's quite an emotional read. I've heard about that one. Yeah, a few. I've heard it's emotional, and I don't think he can talk, or he chooses not to. Oh,
right. Okay. Oh, interesting.
And that's why it's called Archer's Voice. I think they have their own way of communicating, and I think it's related to trauma that he experienced as a child. I think.
Is the whole series about this couple? Do you know, or every book?
I don't know. I've only heard about book 1.
And our second pick is Variation by Rebecca Yaros, who's obviously the author of Fourth Wing. Elite ballerina Ali Rusu returns home to recover from an injury, facing painful memories and her demanding mother's expectations. Coast Guard rescue swimmer Hudson Ellis, haunted by past regrets and secrets, crosses paths with Ali again when his niece seeks her birth mother, forcing them to confront their complicated history and uncertain future. I'm very excited to read this because I just can't imagine. I can't imagine Rebecca Yaros writing about something that other than dragons. So yeah. I feel like it's going to be good, and it does get 4.18 on Goodreads.
Yeah, I'm really, really keen because neither of us has read any other of her works. And I think this one's also been picked up for a movie as well.
Oh.
There's no release date yet. They haven't casted yet, but I think it's just been picked up by a producer.
Cool.
All right. Dark romance, our favourite category at the moment. And actually, I haven't included, I've got a couple of other recommendations there that we might choose between depending on our mood. Because the thing is, with dark romance, some of them can be quite heavy. So sometimes you just need something a little bit lighter, like a mafia romance that we sort of did last month.
Because didn't we pick Darling Venom in one of our selections and we put it back? Oh, no, I think we picked it out, but then we can pick out of all of them. Sorry.
Yes, that's right. Yes. That's right. So you would have seen us select Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. So it follows Charlotte Richards and Kellen Marchetti, both struggling with tragedy, and they form an unusual bond by promising to check on each other every Valentine's Day instead of ending their lives, until a heartbreaking choice shatters their pact and sets Charlotte on a dark, forbidden path of love and pain. So it gets 4.27 on Goodreads. Heavy depression focus. I think you can tell from just that synopsis. This is a very, very heavy book. So it's one of those ones you've sort of got to be
in the mood for.
Yeah. Second book, I'm scared. Insatiable. I've got this one on my shelf too. I'll have to show you the cover. Hang on, it's worth showing. So I picked up this one not realising it's a stalker romance, but here we are. I don't know if you can.
Oh, yeah, I can see. Is that like a...
But it just looks creepy.
Bones? It's hard to tell.
It's like a snake. Yeah, snake intertwined of a rib cage.
Right. Great.
Says if he can't have her, no one else can. So, Cade Mitchell is obsessed with someone he despises, a snake in an angel's skin. Stacey Rhodes is everything he can't forget, the girl who shattered his heart and drove him deep into the darkness of the underworld. He watched her for years, killed anyone who came close to her, hence the stalker. But now, granted a brief moment of freedom from the life he's trapped in, he's back home and driven to claim her again, breaking every rule he's ever made for himself. Not even his hatred can stop the pull between them. He'll never forgive her, or will he?
Ooh.
And it's got an average of 4.2 on Goodreads.
Okay.
Check your triggers before you go into this. I've heard amazing things. It's quite short. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's really short.
How many people did he kill for?
What have we got? 300 pages.
Oh, yeah. Geez, very short. All right. So now you know what's really on our TBRs. Will we get through them all? Maybe. At some point we will, or we'll ditch them, or we'll add more. Yeah. So no, we probably won't get through them all.
It's a thought that counts, and the never-ending book hauls.
Comment below what's on your TBR and which of these we should definitely prioritise or get rid of if you think we're crazy.
Agreed. And don't forget that if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our reading updates.
See you next week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.